In this video, we're going to be giving you a fully comprehensive long-term review of the best Pegasus in a very long time. This is the Nike Pegasus 41. Bash! That's pretty good. If you're watching this video, you probably don't need me to give you a history lesson on the Pegasus. It's obviously one of the most storied silos out of any running shoe, dating all the way back to 1983. But I do really believe that with the updates that we got going on here with the 41st iteration of the shoe, there are some really nice tweaks, improvements, and notable changes. So without further ado, let's jump straight on in. I'll rattle through some numbers to start off with. So on the scales, you're looking at around about 290 grams in my UK 8.5. Obviously not the lightest shoe on the market by any means, but it's also not a big clump of a thing either. And from a stack height standpoint, we got 37 millimeters in the heel and 27 millimeters in the forefoot for a 10 mil drop. Nice and traditional. We've got an upgraded engineered mesh upper, a pleasantly padded, fully gusseted tongue, solid amount of cushioning around the heel collar as well, and a nice eyelet looping lace system, which does a really good job at achieving lockdown, but we'll get onto the fit and the performance of the shoe in a little while. Now, midsole wise, this is where the biggest change happens with the Pegasus 41. We're moving away from regular React foam, and we've moved on to React X, which was previously utilized on the Infinity Run 4, but that was a completely different shoe to the Pegasus. You had a heavily rocket geometry, it was much heavier, totally different use case in theory, whereas with the Pegasus, it's your quintessential workhorse daily trainer. So to see React X, to see an update to the midsole of this shoe is very, very welcome and well appreciated. And we've still got the standard air zoom units in the heel and the forefoot of the shoe. I should also mention regarding the midsole that React X reportedly returns 13% more energy than regular React and also reduces the carbon footprint of the shoe by 43% due to less energy resources needed to make the shoe. So that's nice. Finally, the outsole is exactly what you come to expect from a Pegasus, a big, thick slab of waffle configurated rubber, which is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon and should provide a solid amount of traction and durability on a multitude of surfaces from road to buffed out trails, canal tow paths, that sort of thing. Performance wise, this is definitely where the biggest surprise comes from for me, as I've actually logged a remarkable amount of Ks in the Peg 41 since I first got them. Now, I'm not traditionally a Pegasus wearer. I can't claim to have put tens of thousands of kilometers in previous versions of the shoe. So I was open-minded, but a little bit apprehensive about logging my first miles in the Pegasus 41. I think part of the reason for that is because typically these days I'm a little bit soft and I'm used to big stack heights. You've got more brands that are breaching that 40 millimeter stack with very soft, compliant foams, fancy rocket geometries, dual layered midsole makeup, stiffening agents within those midsoles. So a shoe that is a no-nonsense, do-it-all daily trainer like the Pegasus is not really been in my repertoire up until now. In terms of fit, I've got a UK 8.5, true to size for me, nice amount of wiggle room at the end, solid amount of volume in the toe box as well without feeling claustrophobic. I will say with the upper and the plushness of the heel counter and the tongue, it can run a little bit warm on those hotter days, but I've never found that to be detriment. I've never found that it absorbs excess moisture to the point where it's noticeable on the run itself. I am definitely a stickler for a well-fitting running shoe, and my OCD tendencies absolutely hate any sort of ruffling or bunching of the upper on the eyelet chain. So very happy that we don't have that here. And I think that is in part due to this new loop lacing system that you got going on, along with just the right amount of material used in the upper itself. Use case wise, I have definitely predominantly used the Pegasus 41 for its intended purpose, which in my opinion is easy days, general mileage, those days where you might pick up the pace if you feel good, but there's no prerequisite to be running a specific K split or mile split during the run itself. And I think that's where the Pegasus shines. But having said that, I have taken them out for a couple of progression runs. A standard staple run in my week will be a 10K progression, starting anywhere from 5-minute Ks to 440s, working all the way down to about 345s. And at that faster clip, a more steady clip, They do come alive and feel pretty decently responsive underfoot. It's definitely not a shoe I'm going to be reaching for sessions, dedicated tempos or anything like that for sure, but it is capable of picking up the pace a little bit if you want it to. As a mid to forefoot striker, the Peg 41 is definitely pretty different compared to some of the more rockered lower drop shoes that I've been wearing recently, but I do quite enjoy that more planted feel and that increased ground contact sensation that you get with the Peg. And I'm surprised myself to have racked up probably close to 100k in the shoe so far in just a matter of weeks of testing. It's always a good sign when I find myself naturally gravitating towards a shoe rather than feeling like I have to wear it for the purpose of a review. And again, the Pegasus has really been that shoe for me. Now this might sound like a bit of a backhanded compliment, but when it comes to the specific profile or characteristics of the Peg 41 underfoot, it is largely unremarkable and does exactly what it says on the tin. But I mean that in the best way possible. It is strangely comforting and very refreshing to lace up a shoe that does just do the job without any bells and whistles. And I think if you're watching this video and you're a runner like myself who's got shoes coming out his ear holes with all of this different fancy tech going on, to have a shoe like the Pegasus that you can lace up, no nonsense, no complaints, log your miles and do it in comfort, I think it's a very underrated quality in this day and age. I do think there's a slight break-in period with the Pegasus 41, and I reckon that's partly due to the fact that we have got such a substantial outsole coverage here. It felt a bit firmer than I would have liked on the first run, but after 20k, 25k, 30k of running in the shoe, it's softened up quite nicely, and now the first mile is just as plush and enjoyable as the last. Sounded like a tagline that, didn't it? Make the first mile feel just as good as the last with the Pegasus 41 from Nike. As a disclaimer, I should say that although I've taken the Pegasus over an hour a fair few times now, I haven't done what you would consider to be a bona fide long run in the shoe. I've not done 90 minutes plus in it, and so bear that in mind whilst you're watching this video. So overall, I don't really know what else to tell you. The Pegasus is a shoe that works, and in my opinion, the updates that we got to the Pegasus 41 here means that it works significantly better than some of its predecessors, and that is a very good thing and a very welcome change. So like I say, if you're looking for a simple do-it-all daily trainer with no bells and whistles, but that's going to get the job done in comfort and last forever, then the Pegasus 41 is truly right back on that list of solid daily trainers to be considering. I'll continue to wear this shoe. In fact, I'm probably going to wear it tonight when I've got an easy 50 minutes or so to run, and I'll probably really enjoy that 50 minutes as well. So if you're looking to get your feet in a pair of the Pegasus 41, they are available in a variety of snazzy colorways right now at Pro Direct Running. So that's going to do it for our review of the Pegasus 41. If you like this video, drop it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss any future running shoe reviews. And I'll see you in the next one. Hooked.